Okay, so Marty McFly is like, and then he goes to Doc's workshop, and Doc calls him up, and he's like, "Hey, Marty, I'm definitely not on crack right now. On a side note, can you come to a mall parking lot at 1 o'clock in the morning? Thanks, bye." And then Marty is like, and then so stuff's going on, and he goes to the parking lot, and Doc is like,
"Come on, Morty."
So Doc shows off his new cool epic tricked out DeLorean that also happens to travel through time, and then a bunch of Libyans show up and are all like, and then Doc is like,
"I'm dead."
And then Marty is like,
"How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run."
And so then Marty gets in the time machine and accidentally travels back to 1955. And just in case you missed that last part, don't worry, the movie will in fact remind you.
It's 1955!
So then Morty is walking around town when he gets into some trouble with the local bullies, who, wouldn't you believe it, it's the guy who bullies his dad in the future, because, you know, in real life, bullies literally never leave the people that they're bullying alone and force them to live in constant torment for the rest of their life. Yeah, that's how it works. Anyway, so he gets into a bunch of trouble with them, and then invents a skateboard and wheels off to also inadvertently causing said bullies to literally get themselves into a pile of shit. And so then, after that is done, he's like, "Oh, I gotta go do a thing," and then accidentally creates his father's backstory with himself in the place of his father, and his mother, but from 30 years ago, falls in love with him. And it would be a heartwarming love story if not for, you know. So he has to get back to 1985 so that he can get back to his life. But the only person he can find that will help him is the doctor himself, who's definitely still on crack in 1955. That hasn't changed. So he finds him, and he's like, "Yo, Doc, I need your help." And the Doc's like, "No." And then he's like, "Pulls." And the Doc's like, "Alright." And so then they just start discussing plans to get him back to 1985. In the meantime, he's kind of accidentally destroyed his entire time stream and will cease to exist very soon if he doesn't get his father to fall in love with his mother. So he goes out, and he's trying to get his father to fall in love with his mother, but it's proving very difficult because his father is a total bitch, and his mother is 100% into him and not his father. But again, we can't do that because so he like they need to kiss at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. But to get his father to do that, he had to do a thing where he pretended to be every single sci-fi character that didn't exist in 1955. Oh, and in case you didn't know that all of these sci-fi characters that he references directly didn't exist in 1955, don't worry, the movie will remind you.
They didn't exist in 1955.
So, then, after some very professional level convincing, his Marty's dad finally agrees to ask out Marty's mom to the dance, and then stuff happens. The trouble with the bullies, and so then they're at the dance, and Marty's mom is literally coming on to him, and in case you forgot, that's bad because so we don't want that, and so Marty's father shows up along with Marty's father's bully, and then some panels straight out of the Batman cartoon, and said bully now has a straight up concussion, and all is well, or so it seems, because all is in fact not well, because they haven't kissed yet, because that's how time works. And so Marty goes up and he's like, yo, we gotta play in the band so that, the song will be playing so that they'll kiss and fall in love. But the band is like, yo, we ain't got a guitar player. I'm sure you ain't got nobody around here who can play guitar. And Marty's like, and so then Marty plays guitar, and his father and his mother kiss. And it's a beautiful love story. And then Marty proceeds to literally break the laws of time. And then the doc, meanwhile, figured out a way to get him back home in the DeLorean with 1955 instead of 1985 stuff. And then they do it with a lightning bolt and all that. And it's pretty cool. And then Marty goes back to 1985 and stops the Libyans from killing the doctor. And they lived happily ever after until the doc showed up and he's like, where we're going, we don't need roads.